Every 3 to 5 business months, y'all having the same argument about 9 to 5 versus entrepreneurship, blah, blah, blah.
Y'all, the internet has been in a frenzy over these last few days because DDG has made a statement where he was saying something about 9 to 5 jobs.
And my only question is, why can't y'all just mind y'all business and let people live life how they want to live their life? Everybody's not creative. Everybody can't just go out there and start a business. Y'all just be speaking too freely. Some of us gotta work 9 to 5 to survive, plus some.
And people online are upset and in an uproar.
A 9 to 5 should only be used to fund your own business. Like, I don't think nobody should ever get a job and say, I'm gonna be the 10-year best employee of the year. Like, nobody should ever think that, because if you ever late too many times, they're gonna get rid of you. They don't care what you got going on in your family. They don't care about nothing. If I'm the business and you always late and you doing this, I'm firing you. It's plain and simple. I don't give a damn what you got going on, because I know I got 1,000 applications and they gonna grind hard because they need this money to fund their business or just to work here forever. So I'll tell people all the time, I'm like, bro, you can't be stuck in no 9 to 5. It's nothing wrong with a 9 to 5, but it's like, it's what you're doing with the 9 to 5. You shouldn't be working a 9 to 5 to take care of your life for the rest of your life.
Okay, first thing I want to say before we get too deep in this is that I respect people who work 9 to 5 jobs. We need people in society who work 9 to 5 jobs. If you're going to run a business, you're going to need workers. So, I don't think he was necessarily trying to look down on those people, but 9 to 5 workers are important in society, and so is people spending money. Now, those two things we just can't go without. We need workers and we need people to spend money for our economy to flourish. That is the truth. Secondly, he said a 9 to 5 should only be used to fund your business. Now, there's a lot of people that are going to have problems with that because, for one, everybody doesn't want to fund a business. So I can kind of understand why a lot of people were feeling the way they were feeling online, because maybe he wasn't talking to them. And the reality of the situation is, some stuff online, people, if you don't specifically say who you're talking about, they feel like you're talking about them. And I don't think that was meant for everybody, in my personal opinion. But for the people who do aspire to run a business, or maybe they've had the thought about running a business, if you're going to have some sort of business, the money's going to have to come from somewhere. If you're trying to run a business, there's going to be a few options on where you can get this money, aka funds, for your business. One option could be credit cards. You can get a business credit card. You can get business loans. Perhaps you even get business grants. If you got friends or family that are willing to invest in your business or just give you money, like, that's another option too. But one thing that I always hear a lot of people who give financial advice or business advice to other business owners or other entrepreneurs is, use the money that you get from your job to put into your business. That's like the meat and potatoes I want to focus on right now. And I want to ask you all, do you think that that is wrong? And if you don't own a business or you don't aspire to own a business, it may not matter to you, but the reason it matters is because I think that's who he's talking to. And if I can be honest here, I know people who own their own businesses, and the money that they've got for their business came from their jobs. They either saved up money and then put it into their business, or they ended up getting business loans or business credit. A lot of people say, oh, we don't get paid enough money from our jobs in order to put it into our business. And that's the thing about being a business owner and putting the money into it from your job, is sometimes these people who really want to be an entrepreneur are working extra shifts. Sometimes they're working 3 jobs at a time. They're getting whatever spare money they can get. Sometimes they're selling stuff around their house and they're putting that into their business. You just got to think about how people can get money and put it back into their business. And one of the best ways is by their income from their job. We can pull up countless videos online where businessmen, entrepreneurs, financial gurus, whoever you want to call it, are giving this sort of advice. So I was just kind of shocked, to be totally honest, that people were outraged at this statement. But I think it should have just been tailored to specifically who he was talking to, and then maybe there wouldn't have been any backlash.
The number one thing that pops up in my mind, if everybody is a business owner, who is working at the establishment? Who are the employees?
Yeah.
I know it's hard for some people to believe, but there are actual people out here who are okay working their little 9 to 5, getting their check and going to the crib. They don't want all the extra responsibility. They just want to get their bread and go on about their day.
He brings up some very good points here, but again, I don't think this is who DDG was talking about. I don't think he meant everybody, because obviously if everybody did that, then who would help him run his business? Like, I don't think he's the only one running his business, but I don't know. But I'm just saying, usually business owners have people that they bring on, they hire, they have employees. So that's kind of like a given in any business. Tesla, Amazon, they have workers. Like Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk are somewhere doing other things, but they still have workers. And he is absolutely right. Everybody does not and is not capable of successfully running a business. It's not for everybody.
And then people talk about a 9 to 5 like it's just disgusting. There are people out here that work a 9 to 5 that make more than some businesses.
That's true.
if we gonna keep it a bean,
He's right.
There's absolutely nothing wrong with having a 9 to 5. It's the same thing that people be talking about when it comes to owning a home and renting. Look, there are people out here who are okay with renting. They don't want all the extra responsibilities that come with owning a home. Like, let people just live their lives.
I'm not gonna lie, one of the statements that gets me is when people say, let people live their lives. It's like, do y'all think anyone is gonna stop anybody? Like, I'm just being honest. I'm not sure if that phrase is in response to someone saying a perspective someone doesn't believe in, and then they're just like, let people do what they want or let people live their lives. It's like, y'all are gonna do it anyway. DDG ain't stopping none of them. They're gonna, like, if you want to work your job, like, work your job. Y'all are not being handcuffed. Somebody need to show me the social media handcuffs, because that statement gets used so widely. You want to know one thing that is less time consuming than a 9 to 5? Clicking the subscribe button, because I make videos like this on this channel all the time.
And then a lot of entrepreneurs or business people out here, they do bad business. Terrible at it.
This man right here is saying a lot of people just like to clock in and go about their day, which I understand completely. I get that. There's a lot of responsibilities that comes with owning a business. But I just think that while people are working, they should try to have some sort of security and look forward into the future, into what type of lifestyle they want to live. Because what about when you can't work? What about when you get older? What about when you can't clock in? And I think that's the bigger thing that needs to be talked about here. And I kind of think that's what DDG was trying to get at, but I don't think it was able to get that far because people were just mad that he was saying something about like, oh, y'all should be business owners. Everybody's not going to be able to be a business owner. That's the truth. But everybody could try to invest into their future. They could have things like emergency funds, 401ks, savings accounts, and things like that. So if you ask the average worker, do they have that? A lot of them don't have that. So what is the plan? Just work till you drop? And that's really what I want to talk about. When I heard this whole thing was going on, I was like, he got a good point about investing into the future, but maybe it's not for everybody to be a business owner. What about the emergency funds that most Americans don't have? What about the 401ks that most people don't have? And a lot of people's jobs do matches. They might do like a 5% match on the first 5% that they put in. A lot of people aren't even taking advantage of that sort of stuff. If you don't want to own a business, perfectly fine. Like, I get it. That's work. Not for everybody. But can we be honest about work? A lot of people really believe if I don't own a business, I can just work till I drop. And that's not realistic because unfortunately, we do get old, our bodies break down. So then if you are not prepared with the other things that I just talked about, what is your plan? An entrepreneur might have their plan because they might have people working for their business and they may be able to generate money based on what type of business they have because they can hire workers to do the job for them when they're up in age or whatever the case may be. Depends on the business. But if you're clocking into a job, you still need to have something invested into yourself. And maybe that's not a business, but you need something.
I'm mad at DDG because he said a 9 to 5 should be used to fund your own business. Even if it's not to fund your own business, it should be used to invest in yourself for the future. Yes. No matter what. You should never have that mindset like, I'm going to work in this job forever.
Yes.
Ever. You should never have that mindset because they could drop you in a blink of an eye and there's nothing you could do about it but find a new job. And keep doing that process all over and all over and all over again.
I thought all hope was lost. Thank goodness this wise young lady is here. The only way this can get better is if she mentions 401k, emergency fund, savings account, that sort of stuff.
Somebody said if everybody is a business owner, where does the workers come into play? Do you not see AI is taking over? We're going to lose our jobs real soon. Anyways, either way. So then why not just have your own business? Seen this movie where it was like the bots was taking over the world basically and taking everybody's jobs and they started killing the bots because they kept taking everybody's jobs. In about 10 to 20 years, it's going to be bots working as us. I work a 9 to 5 myself and to me, he didn't say nothing wrong. With my checks, I use it to invest in myself. I want to model. I do photo shoots. I want to do videos and YouTube videos and things. I buy stuff like that for that. Or I'm starting my music career. I invest in that. Like, you have to invest in yourself somehow, some way. You can't just be working a 9 to 5 just to work and pay bills. Like, or you'll forever be miserable.
I mean, you can do it because I know there's going to be somebody out there. Stop telling people what to do. I'm not here to hold nobody hand. We all have to take accountability for our lives. Whatever decisions that we didn't make because we wanted to live for the now, that's going to affect us later. And even if you don't want to take accountability for your own actions, life has a way of showing you that no matter What? If you don't plant any seeds today, you can't expect no harvest tomorrow. And when you see a lot of people able to do other things later in life and you're just like, why can't I do that? Look, there are going to be some people who hear the stories of other people and they learn from it, and that are going to hear people talk and they're going to eat the meat and spit out the bones.
You'll never know your purpose in life. Don't depend on that 9-to-5 job. Don't. Maybe the old generation did that back in the 1950s and 60s. We're not doing that now.
They could.
It's 2024. If you're working a 9-to-5 right now, and you're not investing in yourself some way, somehow, find what you want to do in life and invest in yourself. Pour into yourself.
Bro, my mom always said, never let someone trick you out your check. DDG gonna trick a lot of y'all out y'all check, man. There's nothing wrong with going to your 9-to-5 or your regular job, bro. Someone has to run the companies. That's how society works. That's how economics work.
Yeah.
Everyone can't be a business owner, and that's okay. Everyone doesn't have the skill set to be a business owner. You can't believe that you can go from being a worker and running a whole organization, man. Taxes alone difficult.
Yeah.
And then people was like, DDG, when you had a 9-to-5, he was like, yeah, I did have a 9-to-5. I used to work at TJ Maxx. Everybody like, bruh, TJ Maxx, that's not a 9-to-5. And that's a valid point. TJ Maxx isn't necessarily a 9-to-5. It's a regular job, but it doesn't have any upward mobility.
It's still a 9-to-5 if you're working 9-to-5, right? Like, I don't know. Am I wrong? 9-to-5 isn't always a career that has upward mobility and room for improvement or growth. Or is it? I mean, I just thought it was the hours.
When I think about a 9-to-5, I think about a career path, something that has upward mobility. Like working at TJ Maxx, there's really nowhere you can really go. But let's say you do something else or something, like, I don't know, you work in data or something. There's upward mobility. And I think the reason a lot of people want to start businesses is because they're in seek of upward mobility. They feel like they're in something that has no feasible path forward. So they think about business ownership as something that's kind of liberating and able to give them some upward mobility, which business can be. But business could also be the opposite of that if you don't have the correct skill set for starting a business.
I think me and him have a different idea of what a 9-to-5 is, but that's okay. He is free to think whatever he thinks a 9-to-5 is. But on his other point, I agree. I think a lot of people do think that being a business owner comes with a lot more freedom, and that looks sexy to a lot of people, but I think it's just misleading to a lot of people because it's not all sexy. And he's right. It is hard. It is difficult, and everybody cannot do that.
When it comes to a 9-to-5, I feel like this. If there's something that you really want to do, like you have a solid business plan and you have a solid clientele, yes, you should use your 9-to-5 to work your way out of doing your business full time. However, just quitting when you don't really have things in place, you don't have the finances in place for at least the next 3 months, you are setting yourself up. And I'm telling you that from personal experience. Child, I was doing my fitness business online. I had about 2 to 3 clients, and I thought that was going to take me out of my 9-to-5, right? So instead of me having a plan, I just up and quit my job. Just straight up one day walked out because I was frustrated, and I thought I heard from God to just walk out of my job. And I thought that what I was doing was beneficial to me, but it ended up hurting my family financially. And a little bit of clientele that I did have ended up not signing back on with me. So yeah. So for 3 months, y'all, I was really surviving off 401k that I had a little bit saved up, and I was doing like Instacart and Shipped. What people fail to realize is when it comes to a 9-to-5, yes, it's a stable income, but also insurance too. Do y'all know how much insurance is? I just feel like, if you want to get out of a 9-to-5, that's cool. You just need to have a plan, and you also can't be selfish about it, especially if you have a family. Like just up and quitting is not the business.
There was a lot going on here. Like, what just happened? Girl, she quit her 9-to-5 and was broke for 3 months, and she only had like 2 to 3 clients, and she thought that was enough, and she just one day got frustrated at her job and quit. And what I just heard, and this is absolutely no disrespect to her, this is just my observation. I think that she just didn't have a good business plan, and it just was a little probably premature for her to quit her job with only that sort of clientele, because I don't know how much she was making from her fitness thing with the 3 or 2 clients that she had, but it just probably didn't seem like enough, and it sounded like it was more of an emotional decision for her to quit her job because it sounded like she was frustrated. But not, which I get, like being frustrated with your job, but essentially that's what she's saying here is like, hey, a 9-to-5 is security if you need a job and you need money.
So I like that DDG was, trying to inspire the young people, but he's leaving out a big part of the story.
I get where she's coming from with her situation, but again, a lot of people make these statements and it's from a place of, hey, this is my specific situation, but DDG didn't say nothing about up and quitting your job with no plan, and that's kind of sounding like what she did. He was just saying use your job money in order to put into your business, and how can you do that if you quit your job because they frustrated you one day? Like, you don't have the money from your job because you quit. So this goes against exactly what he was saying, but I get where she's coming from though. But I just think that the scenarios were not the same. So when she said he's leaving out some stuff, I'm like, what did he leave out? Because your situation was very specific to you, you know, kind of emotionally reacting. But I still wish her the best.
DDG 9 to 5 shit got y'all in shambles.
It do.
Let me help y'all out. First off, somebody got to work the 9 to 5. Everybody can't own Amazon. Somebody got to work at that warehouse.
Yeah.
Everybody can't own Walmart. Somebody got to stock them shelves. We all understand this. Also, some people are totally fine. So long as their bills are paid, they got a little jangle in their pocket. Some people are fine with that. I think DDG was talking about the people who want more out of life. There's a few things you can do to get more out of life, and I'm about to lay them out. Number one, you could be smart, go to college, you know, go for a degree as to where you're going to be doing internships and basically have a nice paying job the day you graduate. You know, people get jobs before they graduate, right? Engineering, tech, you know, the whole nine. You could go the blue collar route, get you a trade. I would say electrical lineman type shit, especially if you travel. My God, plumber, electrician, HVAC, sales. Woof. There's a plethora of career fields you can choose. It's gonna have you earning 6 figures and above. But generally, if you go into any of those career fields that I just named as examples, it's not just gonna be a 9 to 5, bro. You're gonna be working like 50, 60 hours a week minimum. I don't know if y'all know anybody with like good jobs. They work. Nurses, doctors, they work.
They do.
So let's get that one out of the way. You ain't gonna be working a 9 to 5. Gonna get to work at 8. You're gonna be there till 8.
Yeah.
Very few jobs pay you a lot and only have you working 8 hours or less a day. Very few jobs. I don't know what fairy tale y'all living in, but very few jobs. I think DDG was talking to people who want more out of life, right? People who don't want to drive the Toyota, people who don't want to live in a normal neighborhood, shit like that. If you're a person who you want more out of life and you don't have one of those careers that I just named, chances are you're not going to be very happy. And I'm just being honest with you. People who have those great jobs and the entrepreneurs are a very small amount of people. They get to live the life that everybody says they want to live. So if you don't go to college and get one of those degrees or get yourself a trade and work all those hours, your next best bet, and what I think you should have started off with, in my personal opinion, is entrepreneurship. But first, you need steady income, which would be a 9 to 5.
Yeah.
So desk job. And that should fund your business. I think he was talking to the people who want more out of life, not everybody.
I don't think that he was saying that if you drive a Toyota, like, you just aren't doing well in life. There's nothing wrong with driving a Toyota. I drive a Toyota. Ain't nothing wrong with it. I think he's referring to somebody that has a little bit more expensive taste right here. And that's perfectly fine because a lot of people do want to live those sort of lives. So yeah, you might have to do something a little bit different than everybody else. And he brought up another good point here, like saying that, yeah, you might have to work at a desk job or something like that to fund your business. I think he's absolutely right because I don't think most people want to go into their business using some sort of debt to go in their business because now you got to pay back the business debt.
I think he was talking to the people who want more out of life, not everybody, in my humble opinion.
I just saw a video of DDG talking about a 9 to 5. Bitch, you been on YouTube since high school. I didn't know who a DDG was until he started dating Haley, however the to spell her, say her name, Bailey.
Okay, why do we got to do that though? Like, I didn't know who he was until, like, what does that have to do with the statement? Look, I just want to talk about the statement. Why do we got to start talking about who people date? I don't care who his man date. Dang, come on, y'all. Stick to the subject matter.
Actor, the singer. And the only reason why he's still relevant is because she had a baby with him now.
I'm sorry. I just don't like when we can't focus on what was said. We talking about this man having a baby with the, like, Halle Bailey. Why the shade? Can we address what he said?
What the are you even talking about?
What are you talking about?
If you never worked a regular job, do not talk about 9 to 5s. Talking about some 9 to 5s should.
Didn't they just say that he worked a 9 to 5? So she's saying unless you did it, you can't talk about it. But he sounded like he did it. Okay.
Talking about some 9 to 5s should build your dreams. We got bills. Okay? So
I'm legit a little confused right now. She said we got bills. don't everybody that's an entrepreneur still have bills? Y'all think that the bills went away when somebody became a business owner? I'm just trying to grasp. I think where she's coming from is from a perspective of maybe people aren't making enough money and they don't have money to put into their business. I think that's what she's trying to say here. But okay, let's look at it from that perspective. There are a lot of people who are struggling, and yes, and I feel bad for anybody in that predicament, but there are a lot of entrepreneurs who come from struggle. I want to say this, and I don't want to say this to make anybody feel bad. I want to say this in a way to encourage people because it is the truth. Most Americans that are millionaires in the United States are self-made millionaires. That's a fact. Also, a lot of the people who are self-made millionaires or people who are able to become business owners or entrepreneurs have to do things that maybe is not so glamorous to everybody else. Like maybe they have to pick up more shifts and they're working themselves like a dog trying to get this money so they can do things for their business or have that seed money. Because like I said, you're either going to take out a loan or you're going to go work for it, and then you're going to have the money up front because you worked for it. Then you can put it into your business. So it's really going to be on how much you want to do in order to put the money back into yourself. Like everybody's definition of how hard they want to go is going to be different from person to person, and everybody is not going to do it. And that's why everybody can't be a business owner. So I get what she's saying because, yes, a lot of people are struggling in this economy. It would be just wild to say that we can't understand that. But with all of that being said, there are still going to be people who put their last dime into themselves and they're going to come out on top. And I understand a lot of people not wanting to take that risk to be a business owner, but there will be people who do it. Now, maybe it's not for her. And I understand that. It's not for everybody, but it will happen. I've seen it myself. It happens. People will come from nothing and everything they got, they putting it back into themselves, into their business, into like, what can I do? How can I go up this ladder a little bit more? How can I get my business better? It happens. And maybe y'all don't see enough of it. Y'all don't see the people struggling, trying to get it out literally getting out the mud. It happens. And these people be tired. They up all night. They don't even sleep because they're so focused on trying to be successful in their business. They're not getting 8 hours of sleep. They may be getting like 3-4 hours of sleep in between all the jobs they're doing because they're so focused and so hungry on trying to get their jobs off the ground. I didn't say it was going to be fun, and I don't think DDG thinks it's going to be fun either, but there are ways to get it done.
Sorry we're not fucking the superstar and we sit on YouTube or Twitch all day. The
I'm not gonna lie, this is kind of exhausting. Honestly confused on like where the negativity is coming from with this response. I'm just trying to understand.
The audacity of y'all, especially y'all YouTubers who been doing this shit since high school. Kai Cenat, any of them because when I say that word, they remove my sound. But any of these young men who been on YouTube or Twitch literally since middle school, shut the fuck up.
I genuinely don't know if she's upset because he has a famous baby mother or if because he was a young YouTuber, or if I'm not understanding where her frustration is coming from. So I honestly don't know what to say, but she was just very angry. Only thing I really want to talk about from her statement that she just made just now is the fact that she was saying that there are some young, successful YouTubers who came up on Twitch or YouTube or wherever they came up from, because I don't honestly know much about their history either. Like, I'm 31. I don't know how it happened or whatever. But to anybody that's able to do social media and to excel, like, bravo. Bravo, because your chances were slim from the jump. If you ever look at what percentages of YouTube channels even make it from the jump that even get 1,000 subscribers, it's like 8.75% just to get 1,000 subscribers. And then when you hit the 10,000, it gets even worse than that. It's like less than 1%. And if you're talking anything over 100,000 subscribers or anything like that on your channel, do y'all know it's not even 1%? Like, whatever the percentages that I'm talking about, they're generally on, because I just looked it up today. My point is, if you're doing content creation and you're able to grow and be successful at it, like, all I have to say to you is bravo, because whatever you did it well, and you did it well enough to where you could make something for yourself, maybe have some sort of financial gain and opportunities to yourself and to your family. I don't got nothing bad to say about it. Good for you. Let's just hope that everybody can be successful at something to where they can make money, because at the end of the day, people want to be able to feed their family and people want to be successful. I hope that whenever you do something good, that you are met with a congratulations and you're not met with a bunch of people reminding you that they're not you and everybody can't do that, because I don't think that's what that young man was trying to do. So a lot of people said DDG ended up crashing out in this next clip, and it was actually in response to the same lady that I was just talking about and just showing you guys. So this is what happened.
I don't know why the
I don't know why y'all keep acting slow. Y'all know what the hell I meant. If you don't want to be a boss, then don't be a boss. Work your job. I don't give a fuck. Okay? I don't care, bro. I don't even know you. I don't give a fuck if you a boss, employee, none of that. It's motivational. If you want to get up every day and go to your job, good jolly do it. I don't give a fuck. Y'all think I give a fuck? And I used to work at TJ Maxx and Kroger. Just because I'm lit, rich, and handsome now doesn't mean that I didn't work a regular job. Why y'all hating? And you're lying and chewed. You're lying and fucked. Stop playing with me. What? Y'all starting to piss me off. Y'all act slow. Every time I say something, y'all act like y'all don't know what the fuck I'm saying. Stop acting stupid. You know what the fuck I meant.
Now, I don't know if that's because she didn't know that he actually did work jobs or not, but it kind of made him upset. Y'all let me know. What do y'all think about the whole 9-to-5 thing? Do you think that the 9-to-5 should be used in order to fund your business? I ended up asking you guys here on my channel in a poll today, should people use their 9-to-5 money to fund their own business? 22% said yes, that's how you get ahead. 47% said depends. Not everybody can do it financially. 1% said no, stick to the job security, so y'all are ready to leave these jobs. 1% said why work for a boss at all? 30% said not everybody wants to be a business owner. And y'all, if you don't want to be a business owner, that is perfectly fine. There is nothing wrong with working a 9-to-5 as long as you have some way to prepare for your future. Do whatever you need to do to get that money. But until next time, we got to start making better decisions today in order to have a better future.